Opportunities toward a better life all starts with education. And as architects of change, this foundation from Cebu seeks to shape the future by molding minds and empowering communities through early childhood development. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business. Education is known to be life's greatest equalizer, but the cycle of inequality and deprivation brought about by poverty still remains a problem in the country. And while learning should start at an early age, poverty remains a major barrier in accessing early childhood education for many Filipino children.
Malaking factor talaga po yung poverty. No, yung mga bata namin, they cannot come regularly because the parents are busy looking for work, or minsan yung attitude ba ng mga parents, they don't give so much value on education. Wala sa kanila yung value na kailangan dalhin sa eskwelahan yung mga bata. Usually sa mga poor families, it's sad to say, pero yung mga bata parang they're born to just help them earn money.
The Philippines has the highest learning poverty rate in East Asia and the Pacific region. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, 3 out of 10 Filipino children do not participate in an organized learning program before reaching the age of 5.
Very critical yun po sa child development because it provides a foundation in developing creative, critical thinking and developing the good character of the child. We want them to also develop resilience, adaptability because of this fast-changing world and all the challenges that the child will face in the future.
Adding to the problem is the lack of early childhood care and development, or ECCD, facilities in the country.
It's important to involve the local leaders, the community, so that they also understand that they need to let these young children go through early childhood education because that will increase their likelihood and probability of success in terms of school readiness.
Early childhood in the municipality of Bantayan anchored on our shared belief that if we want to have a value-laden, resilient, and productive citizen, we must invest in ECCD to develop their skills. They are not only physically healthy, but emotionally sound and socially adept.
And one of the LGU's partners in ECCD is the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated, an organization that inspires action and enables communities through a holistic approach to become champions for children.
The Dolores Aboitiz Children's Fund is the Early Childhood Care and Development Program of RAFI. Since 2008, we have empowered a lot of organizations to do ECCD programs in their own local government units. Right now, we have also built 128 child development centers all over Cebu, and these were all turned over to the local government units.
In this approach to early childhood education, children are nurtured through a creative, free play-based program, developing their imagination, critical thinking, as well as language and communication skills through engaging and interactive activities.
Yung play kasi includes not just laro-laro lang, but it's play that encourages imagination. The storytelling provides a foundation for literacy.
The ECCD program of the foundation not only focuses on the development of Filipino children, but also strengthening the capacity of child development workers, as well as parents to support the child's holistic development.
Yung karakter, siyempre tinuruan paano maging isang mabuting teacher, paano maging mabuting halimbawa sa mga bata.
Kay dako kay siya tabang, labi na sa akon mga ganahan jud ko magtudlo sa mga kabataan. 12 years na ako nag-child development worker. Siyempre, ma-compare jud nimo ang sa una ug karon. So karon sang naka-training nami sa duwa with Tita Grace, with Father Hockey, with the CPMS, overall makasulti jud ka nga nindot kaayo ang ilagi pantudlo sa amon.
Bilang isang magulang, mas malaking bagay siya. Maglaro ka lang dyan. Okay lang yan na dumihan kasi mas marami siyang malalaman.
As the old proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. And through active participation and inclusion of all stakeholders, led by the local leaders, teachers and parents alike are empowered to become more involved in their children's early development, setting the foundation for a healthy, balanced, and happy life.
We work with them in co-creating and co-planning the necessary intervention so that we can address gaps in the local early childhood education, letting them go through the right training, equip them with the right knowledge, and of course provide them with the necessary tools so that they can properly teach and guide our young children.
If we really want the country to be successful and fully developed, we need to invest in children. It should not be one person's job alone. We really need to come together to improve ECCD programs and services, especially for disadvantaged children.
The degradation of the environment has resulted to greater inequality and biodiversity loss over the past decades. And with the imminent threat of climate change, there has been a call for stronger environmental action to not just strengthen the resiliency of ecosystems, but also capacitate communities to become environmental stewards. The Philippines is one of the world's mega-diverse areas in terms of tropical forests and biodiverse ecosystems. But over the last 50 years, we have lost 93% of our forest cover. Along with it, the many ecological services and protection it provides to communities. Due to the lack of awareness and knowledge on the value of forest ecosystems, the residents of Pinamungahan, Cebu, had once resorted to illegal logging and unsustainable agriculture practices as a means to their livelihood.
Kining barangay saksak nga kining specific sa Rafi nga gibutangan sa maong project is daghan jud og kanang mga balang ba kanang mga pakpahak tungod pud ni sa mga tawo nga hilig pa pud sa unang panahon og mga illegal ng mga pagputol og kahoy ng ilang ulingon.
According to Rodolfo Bangiran, these unsustainable practices have been passed down through generations. And despite the destructive effects to the environment, Rodolfo says that they had no other choice as they had limited options for alternative sources of livelihood.
Di mi dawaton ang opisina na construction, di po mi kaadtog syudad, dili ra gyud mi magpakabuhi anang illegal logging.
But the forest can only sustain life if it's well taken care of. And after generations of unsustainable practices and abuse, the forest cover of Barangay Saksak diminished greatly.
In part sa LGU, among nakita nga nahinahinay na siya og kanipis, mo na siyang na-alarming nami kay ang atom kong kalasangan mo na siya mahimo na tong murag baga sa lungsod. Mo siya gaginhawa, mo na siya ni-filter sa mga hugaw nga mga hangin.
Atong August 2012, ako gina-analyze na sayop nga gibuhat tungod sa apekto. Nagkanihit ang tubig, mahubas ang mga sapa. So nakanahuna ako nga usbon ang akong panginabuhi ba, patakaran. Usbon mo na nga nag-organize kong Saksak Farmer Association, idili sayop day among gibuhat. Na moto pagka 2013 gitaga amig project sa dinan kinat moto nga diha nausab ang dagat imbis mamutol nga nanom na pod mana pud gigamit among panginabuhian ang pagpananom antud karon makita na resulta dasig mi maayo guba gitanan sa udit.
But with the onslaught of Typhoon Odette, the replanting efforts of the community were left in a devastated state. Still, Rodolfo and the members of the association remain unfazed, determined to bring life back to their once lush forests. enabled and empowered by partnering with the local foundation.
Kung nakatabang po pag-ayos sa among panubigan, kay 2022, nag-rehab nami. Yan, sarapi yan.
With a strong belief in participation and partnerships in bringing about positive change to the community, the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated has championed many programs that focuses on improving the well-being of communities, among which is the environmental program.
Our 1-2-3 program focuses on native tree growing, and it is under the umbrella of our disaster resilience program. We believe that the native tree growing is part of our mitigation initiatives to combat the impact of climate change. By planting and growing native trees, we believe that we can bring back biodiversity as well as help the community in its reforestation initiatives.
With a partnership, the foundation provided capacity building, technical trainings, incentives, and environmental awareness for the municipal government and the Saksak Farmer Association, journeying with them every step of the way, including the creation of a long-term plan for the reforestation efforts to increase the forest cover and work towards building disaster-resilient communities.
Dako yung kaayo o katabang namo kay gawas pa nga kung sa edukasyon wa mi kibaw unsay angay nang buhaton unsay itanong mo na area no hapit mi no read no write. So ang Rapi Foundation andi na mitabang nagtinabangay para maedukar mi nga unsang klase sa tanong.
Through the architecture of participation, the foundation enables their partner communities to take ownership of their initiatives, ensuring sustainability even long after their involvement.
Rafi's approach is really on inspiring them to take action. If the communities are capacitated, when the project ends, the community should be able to continue the project and therefore reap the benefit.
And as the forests of Barangay Saksak pinamungahan slowly but surely recover, so too does the resilience of the community, inspired and empowered to take care of the environment for future generations.
Rafi's vision of enabling resilient, prosperous, and vibrant communities really aligns to the 1-2-3 program, which is aspiring and enabling our communities to be disaster resilient by as simple as planting and growing trees can bring back biodiversity as well as reduce the impact of climate change.
Ang panganday kita namo ako ubos na libel pobre ko gusto edukasyon pero doon na jud ko'y pangandoy kinabuhi ang usa na gusto ko mutabang sa paninabuhi sa akong isikataw sa komunidad mo na usa nalipay ko ni ang Rapi Foundation para nga mapadayon ako ang akong gibuhat na ikabili nako sa sunod henerasyon.
The Philippines faces a critical housing problem that deeply impacts numerous families. But beyond mere statistics, this concern highlights the struggles of individuals striving to secure safe and stable homes. A non-profit organization dedicates itself to reshaping the housing market by giving top priority to affordability and durability, paving the way for more Filipinos to attain secure housing. The Philippine government estimates that the housing backlog is now at 6.5 million units. This means that about 1 out of 3 Filipinos do not have a decent home. Of those with no decent homes, more than 3 million of them are not poor enough to belong to the informal settler families, but don't earn enough to belong to the middle class or to access long-term loans to buy a house. Instead, they incrementally build their houses over decades, one room or story at a time. Often part of the informal economy, these are the underserved or untapped segment for the building and construction industry, despite having an estimated market value of at least 735 billion pesos. In Mandaue City, one of the country's highly urbanized centers, for example, the housing problem stems from a rapid population increase and urbanization, leading to a significant need for better housing solutions.
We have many friends and Mandawihanons who are forced to live on danger zones. Cutting across the entire city of Mandaue is a very popular river. It's called Butuanon River. And then dun sa easement ng Butuanon River, there are some people who relocate there.
With Mandaue City's limited land area of 35 square per kilometer, roughly the same as the city of Las Piñas, going vertical with high-rise buildings seems like a clear-cut solution, one that presents both opportunities and management challenges.
The one thing we saw as a viable solution to this problem is to go vertical. So what we did, we found a balance between the row housing, which we are more accustomed to, and the vertical. So nag-medium rise kami. In fact, 2 buildings are underway for medium rise public housing.
Addressing the housing need more sustainably is crucial. People are drivers of the economy, but when they continually face challenges in achieving adequate housing, progress remains elusive.
Dalawang aspects I can see with sustainability, but in the center or at the center of those aspects actually is the people themselves na yung titira doon. We don't build a building without a beneficiary in mind. Second aspect, structural. Dito pumapasok yung recent trend which is spearheaded perhaps maybe, by the city of Mandaue, which is going green.
This is where an organization dedicated to transforming the housing sector through sustainable market solutions catered to low-income households in the Philippines, including Mandaue City, comes into focus.
The Williger Center for Innovation in Shelter is a department of Habitat for Humanity International. The traditional way that Habitat does contribute to reducing the housing deficit is it has 70 country organizations across the globe, and we have been building houses ourselves as we fundraise and as other partners come in through voluntary work to build houses. But we realize that doing so will take thousands of years to contribute to substantially reducing the deficit, the housing deficit. So we took on a more market systems approach by recognizing that the private sector as well has a role to play.
As in many other places, the complexity of housing issues require creative solutions. Habitat for Humanity's Terwilliger Center for Innovation in Shelter relies on the strength of partnerships to advance their mission.
Naging partner nga namin yung Center for Research and Communication. Sila ang unang naka-identify together with SHEDA na meron segment ng population. Initially, ang tawag doon cannot afford Pero later on, nung mas inintindi pa natin yung population na yun, yung bagong word na ginagamit natin is underserved. Kaya kami sa Terwilliger Center, yung tagline nga ng program is calling attention, calling investments, and calling innovation in this unserved or underserved market. Malaki to Yung siguro estimate namin, pumapalo na to ng 4 million households. And roughly, mga pumapalo na siya ng $4 billion ang market value niya.
With such a huge problem, approaches must be able to tackle it at scale and make housing more inclusive to all Filipinos. The Terwilliger Center market-based approach helps people find the best value for their investments in housing products and services by working with businesses to address the needs and aspirations of incremental builders.
One of the biggest hazards in Cebu is fire, right? That is why homeowners need to understand the fire hazards and what will be the better materials to use in such situation. So we partner with companies, yung mga suppliers, and encourage them na yung mga products nila and services nila are less harmful sa climate. Right? Hindi lang sa climate, even sa plastic waste.
This approach encompasses areas such as material quality and workmanship, proper design, financing, and consumer awareness. The Terwilliger Center helps meet the demand of low-income families while helping businesses find the market opportunities of this untapped but huge segment. Working towards the organization's mission necessitated more than just determination and called for a collective commitment. This enabled them to build a strong support network, creating a substantial impact for their partners and their beneficiaries alike. The weight of addressing the housing crisis typically falls solely on government shoulders. Habitat for Humanity's Terwilliger Center for Innovation in Shelter works as a market catalyst for experimenting and generating innovative housing solutions while also building collaborative and inclusive partnerships across sectors. It works with different partners from microfinance institutions to hardware stores, media companies, and housing material providers, like this construction and finishing material supplier in Cebu.
That mission resonates with us. One of the challenges we've seen in the aftermath of Odette, when houses or structures are built with very flimsy materials, they don't tend to be very strong. In effect, the household has to spend again to rebuild their home. What we were trying to hope to achieve is to be able to provide better building materials so that in the next calamities, hopefully the structures will still stand strong.
Ensuring a complete and viable solution, the Terwilliger Center collaborates with other qualified partners to make building materials affordable and accessible and enable skilled labor for underserved communities.
It is fulfilling in that we're able to do activities that are not just for profit, but also with a social aspect, which is to help our Filipino brothers be able to achieve also their dreams of building their own homes.
Part of promoting sustainability is a genuine concern for the environment, and this includes promoting a circular economy, a focus supported by another Terwilliger Center partner.
Our partnership is related to developing affordable building materials for the affordable housing sector. We are collecting plastics and other waste from the communities in partnership with local government units and other corporations. So in terms of circularity, we are converting these wastes into green building materials that we can then use to build affordable and dignified houses.
In the case of this architectural firm, the partnership with the Terwilliger Center is helping people find the best value for their investments in terms of design services.
It's more primarily on how we can push forward the agenda of the architecture profession to service the lower income members of society, find a better fit on how we can tweak.
The Terwilliger Center's partner for media outreach blends creativity and social responsibility into their goal of informing and educating homeowners. In the wake of the pandemic, their research into Cebu's media landscape uncovered valuable insights, igniting a partnership that extends beyond business.
When we did the research, we were able to find out what would be effective. What they're doing, they're no longer just radio, they're already digital. And so we have to adapt those findings that we need to integrate
Ang monthly dues sa subdivision, sir, depende sa gyud na siya.
The shows created from these media partnerships serves as a platform for homeowners who need information on how to build their homes right.
One of the opportunities that was provided to us was through the Pulido radio program, wherein several architects who are members of our organization was able to guest and then provide their insights and their professional expertise. The second season is we are trying to focus on repairs that they plan on doing for their houses.
The most rewarding is when you are able to actualize the vision of Habitat, and that vision is where everyone will have a place to live.
These partnerships add value by transforming the decision-making process of low-income buyers into an opportunity for meaningful and sustainable ways to meet their shelter needs. Moreover, they also serve as a motivation for the government to raise housing standards and explore more creative solutions to address existing housing challenges.
Habitat has been very generous, very helpful. They don't stop at public housing. So we are now actually in the planning stage of introducing not just housing but also repairs for those incremental na ginagawa ng mga beneficiaries.
When we looked at the data, see the trends, we saw na talagang nagiging mas mabilis ang urbanization. We wanted to understand more and then introduce solutions in a highly urbanized setting.
From challenges that once appeared insurmountable, organizations like Habitat for Humanity are showing that creating better homes entails not only bricks, cement, or wood, but a whole new way of thinking about housing markets with inclusivity, sustainability, and people's needs at the center. People that, one room or story at a time, are building their dream of a decent place to live.
Look at this untapped segment of the market. This is an opportunity for businesses. Not only be commercially viable, but socially impactful and environmentally responsible. So we would like to work with businesses who are into that direction.
The power of community lies in unity, and by working together, we can create a brighter and more sustainable future and build a better world for generations to come. Join us again next week as we share more inspiring stories of communities and people whose lives have changed for the better. For comments, suggestions, and updates, do follow us on our social media accounts. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business.